This episode of After Dark is brought to you by Audible. For a free 30-day trial as well as a free audiobook, head on over to audible.com/Gamebreaker.
Gamebreaker TV.
Working in my seat right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to After Dark, the live call-in show where that is just still annoying, no matter who you are. The live call-in show where you guys call in and make the show happen. It is Tuesday. The lines are up. It is 9 o'clock, a little bit after 9, but that's okay. Joining us today, like he does every week. You guys know him. You guys love him. I've lost all track. By that song alone, I've lost all track of my intro and forgot everything that I'm supposed to plug. But Bern, I wanted to join the Mike Byrne fan club because my Gunners finally came, Mike Byrne.
Nice,
So,
I see that.
yeah?
That's very studly.
Aren't they? Aren't they?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that YouTube now will not let us post this so that you can show your Gunners to the world.
It's great. It's great because I kept it under 15 seconds, so we're still good. We're still good.
Sweet.
They can't flag us. The tricks. You got to know the YouTube tricks. And I don't even want to bring the camera on him because I've got a very bad feeling of what's going to come for tonight's show on that back wall. Mr. Kiggles. I don't even want to know what's behind those. There's very clearly a reveal to happen back there, and it looks like to be a landscape picture, so it might be a layout pinup. I'm very concerned. I'm very, very concerned.
You should be concerned.
All right, well, I don't know when it's coming, but you guys are not going to want to miss a second of this. That's for darn sure.
Shaft, are you like trying to think back now on this last week and wonder was I laying around semi-nude? When was I laying around semi-nude?
When did my publicist release these photos?
I'm pretty sure I bought up all the rights. I think I got them all. I
thought I burned all the negatives, but
this
clearly.
ought to be grand. I haven't seen this yet. I thought maybe I'd get a sneak peek.
Here's the best part.
Nope.
I haven't seen it yet either. This was one that ended up on the forums like probably months or years ago at this point now. But literally last week I went home and then I ended up in Mumble with Kiggles and some of the other Zista people from Zista's fan club's Mumble chat.
Some of the other Zista people.
The other Zista people, Zista fan club. Well, I did want to define them as to be like
we're a part of the Gamebreaker Nation. Okay, you could just say some of the Gamebreaker Nation people now.
But it wasn't in Gamebreaker Nation's Mumble.
Been dropped.
I want a T-shirt that says "I am Zista people."
I am Zista people.
I want to wear that for After Dark.
So honestly, I wish I would totally bring it up because one of them was just great. It even had me laughing. Maybe I can find it when one of you guys are talking. I have no idea what this picture is because
they'll all be up here eventually.
This one was made a week ago. All of these other ones were made a week ago. So it'll be interesting even for me to see which ones these are.
And I blew it up. And it's blown up. Yes, you get to see everything.
This could, it takes what, 12 images to make a calendar, Shaft.
You could have a sexy Shaftnet pinup. I can start selling it for $10.
The official calendar of After Dark.
We need those made for BlizzCon.
Start selling them to people. Just be like, here, no, it's cool. All right, so let's take a look. I want to get into everybody's calls, but I also want to start off the show. We kind of did this before, and maybe we'll pick it back up. I like starting off the show with kind of an interesting topical question that we kind of just talk about before we get into it. But this one actually came from one of my Twitter followers who tweeted me this question for Gamebreaker After Dark, and I think it's great because I didn't know this was happening until he brought this to my attention, and I think it could make some really interesting conversation here. He asks, Watch Dogs delayed till spring 2014. Opinions. What about the people who bought the new system bundled with it? I want to skip right now the fact that we could talk about maybe the benefit or the travesty of Watch Dogs getting delayed, but that's actually really concerning to me. And as soon as he tweeted this to me, I went over to Amazon and tried to figure out how. Like, I was like, wait a second, I have the bundle. I'm paying $506 for my PlayStation, but it's $506 because I'm also supposed to be getting Watch Dogs. But Watch Dogs isn't coming out now, so I sure as heck can't refund my cancel, because as soon as I re-cancel, or if I cancel my purchase, I won't have the launch day edition anymore. So what do I do? Like, they're basically taking my money a full 6 months ahead of time now.
Well, Amazon and GameStop have officially made announcements on that.
Wonderful.
Other retailers are still kind of dragging their feet, but Amazon made a statement earlier today that said, we are going to reorganize all of your sales. If you ordered this bundle, rest assured you will still get a system on the launch day. We're reorganizing the bundles, and we don't know if we'll give you an opportunity to buy another one, a different bundle if you want. But any price difference would be either refunded not charged to you in this case, or charged more if you pick some other bundle. GameStop said the same thing. Now, Amazon's going to follow up with individual customers. GameStop is also, their statement said that they would not only offer you a different bundle, but they would also let you stay in the Watch Dogs bundle if you wanted. They would charge you full when it came out and give you your PlayStation 4, and then just automatically give you the copy of Watch Dogs whenever it actually does come out. For those that were really dead set on that's the option they wanted, they'll still honor that. It's just you'll get the two different packages. So the key retailers here have already gone on record and are doing what they need to do.
What about the fact, another question that I saw tweeted to us about this topic was, Watch Dogs is such a big, monumental day one game. I think it was originally supposed to be on the PlayStation 3, and then it got pushed to PlayStation 4. And when I found about this, I was like, well, that sucks. Like, I wasn't going to buy any other game. I was just going to get Watch Dogs because Knack really didn't interest me. I'm kind of over Call of Duty. I'm not interested in Battlefield 4. So Watch Dogs was like the PlayStation 4 game I guess, and I was even Infamous is another big title, but that's not coming out till December now. Well, I shouldn't say now, but that's not coming out till December. So what does this do for the PlayStation 4 hype train? Does this affect it? I don't think that Watch Dogs effectively will destroy it, but I think that having key games like this are pretty important to new systems coming out.
I'm just distracted by how freaking awesome you look in those gunners.
They look great, don't they?
You are pretty beastly.
They're pretty. You want to know the best part about these gunners? Because I had to. Gunners does not support Gamebreaker, so just for the record,
just go back and watch 2 episodes ago when we talked about them then.
But I just gotta say, these ones aren't too big for my head. So it only took one attempt, but I finally found some that are just right. You want to know the funny part? The worst part about this is if I could tweet a picture right now, I even thought about taking a picture out beforehand. If I could take a picture of what's out here, I'm not looking at any monitor. The only thing that these are probably doing is affecting these 2 lights that are over here. But honestly, right now, I am just being that douchebag that's wearing these for no reason other than to try and look really cool. And I even brought them specifically from home to put them on for the show. So there was effort and thought into this.
There was total intention. Amazing. Amazing. Sorry, what was the question? What were we talking about?
Watch Dogs. So
it sucks when any big title gets bounced from your launch lineup. I don't think it's not gonna cripple the PlayStation 4 or anything, but when too many of them get bounced out of there, we've seen systems struggle for the first few months of their console life because they had a piss poor launch lineup. I don't think we're in that bin yet for PS4 or the Xbox One, but you certainly hate seeing a big title like this bounced away. Although Kiggles did volunteer to call and bitch up a storm on my behalf, if I wanted a refund or anything. He said he was good at it or something like that.
Are you, Kegos, have you started a service? You should start a service with that. I mean, there's already people out there. There's already people out there that pay for people to stand in line for them for the new iPhone. You could just start a service where you call and bitch out companies for doing dumb things, and there you go.
Damn, that's a good idea.
That's right. Call 1-800-BITCH-OUT, and you'll get me, and I will bitch whoever you want out for the low price of... No, I'm kidding.
You could make a fortune.
So what do you guys think here, though? We'll move on here and get to the first question in just a second. What is this? Is this going to be a problem for PlayStation? Or is this just... And actually, let me change this. I want to talk about the game. A lot of people made allusions to Grand Theft Auto 5. And I personally think that the delays in Grand Theft Auto were well worth the wait. I think back now to like, man, it was supposed to be in spring this year, and I was really pissed off when they pushed it back to fall. But now that it's out, I'm like, God, this game is so good. I'm fine with it being delayed. It was great in the long run, and I'd rather have it be perfect than just shipped out to me as fast as possible. Does it hurt Watch Dogs' reputation to continually be pushed back like this?
Yeah, and I think more so if it was just the PlayStation 4. I'm sorry, Kiggles. I'm kind of upset about this one because this was the bundle I ordered. It impacts me, damn it. If it would have just been the PlayStation 4 version, okay, fine. You can kind of understand maybe a delay there, but the current gen stuff got delayed too. So it was like none of it was ready. None of this is. I don't understand what's going on here. And not only is it just bumped into the beginning of 2014, a month or so, but later than that. I don't know. It seems like an odd delay for very, very almost no reason that was given, and it's not the first time. So yeah, there's definitely a drawback and a point where you just, okay, I don't even care when it comes out. I'm going to go buy something else instead. And then when it comes out, it's, should I get it? I don't know.
I feel the same way because, like, as soon as it wasn't coming out, I immediately was like, okay, what else am I going to buy at launch? Because I got to buy something. Otherwise, why am I buying a PlayStation? And then I'm going to rethink my purchase when it comes out again. Do I really want to play this? I mean, personally, I feel like it looks great enough that I will play it no matter what. But you're right. I'm going to have to make the decision to purchase it a second time.
And GTA 5 had a lot going for it, right? In that same vein of thought that we're talking about, at the end of the day, you were like, screw it, it's GTA, I gotta play it, right? It doesn't matter if it's 6 months late or a year and a half late. This one doesn't have that same allure that if it keeps getting pushed back, it doesn't have that name recognition, that familiarity with an established customer base, where as soon as it comes out, you go, man, I was so mad at you for being delayed 5 or 6 times, but now that you're finally out, I have to buy you. I don't know if Watch Dogs falls into that category. It doesn't have the same established following that GTA does.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to your guys' questions. Because after all, this is a live call-in show. So, caller, welcome to After Dark. What is your name? Where are you from? And what is your question for us?
Well,
you're unmuted.
Hello, my name is Money Penny.
Checking one last time. Anyone out there? Caller? Anyone?
Hello?
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
God damn, my other mic sometimes just doesn't want to work. Okay. Name's Adam or Zigmus from the chat, from Canada. And my question for today is, what's the most disappointing game that you've played? Like, you were so hyped for it, and then you got it, and you were extremely disappointed. What was the biggest one for you? What was the most disappointing for you guys?
Most disappointing game, man.
Wow, you guys had to think about that one?
I had one that, the problem is like, I feel like this needs to encompass my entire life. Like, I had one that popped in my head right away.
A retrospective in gaming.
He's like, well, I kind of liked Monster Party for the NES.
Monster Rancher.
Well, I'm going to have to go with chat, and it was definitely Diablo 3. It was the most disappointing game I have ever played. Mostly because I mean, okay, so I bought it. It was kind of like, you buying the bundle for PlayStation 4, and I bought the year of game time for a while because I was going to buy it anyway, so why not get a free D3? And the closer and closer it got, the more and more excited I got because I loved playing Diablo 2. And then I played it, and it was just wah, wah.
What were the reasons though that kind of led to your reasoning for what you didn't like about it? What did they hype you up about it that brought you down? That didn't live up to expectations?
I can't really tell you. I just didn't like it.
He was like, it was the most disappointing ever. Why? 'Cause it sucked.
Yep. My well-reasoned argument was, it sucks.
I think for me, I'll just go with the one that first popped in my head. I think that there's plenty out there that have ultimately let me down. But the one that I was actually, and I know that a lot of people out there really liked this game, and I'm sorry, but it just didn't resonate with me, and I'm really upset that I didn't finish it.
I have the feeling this is going to be like one of my favorite games. Damn it.
Probably.
Ni no
It's going to start a fight.
Ni no Kuni.
Oh, no, you're all right.
Okay, so I had no idea what Ni no Kuni was until it released. I remember I was literally in bed watching YouTube videos on my phone, and it suddenly started flooding like every trailer for every video for every ad that I was watching. And I was like, "What is this game? This actually looks really cool. Is this a cartoon? Is this a show? Is this a game?" And it built me completely on the hype. Then I started reading up on it, and the internet was going crazy talking about how it's the good old days of RPGs and it's wonderful animation style.
Oh, I got you with the sentimentality, of course. You gotta reel him in with the.
So
he was like, I also agree that games back then were much, much better. I will probably like this game.
So I tried it out, and I felt it was there. It really did have that feeling of like the overworld. I never got to the point where I had like the dragon to fly around with, which was your airship, but it felt like that old RPG, and it was great. But the biggest problem with that game is it just suffered from being so childish, yet dealing with like realistic, like one of the very first situations that you got in, like, because it was about two worlds, and the hate in one world would manifest into being like a monster in the other world, and like the very first relationship that was like a man beating his wife. And it was super dark and super serious, or maybe just like being mentally abusive and just like really just beating on her. And it was one of those things where it was like they treated it with such a childish tone because they wanted to keep it lighthearted and not make it very serious. But like I couldn't take these very serious topics seriously because I never took the characters or the story seriously. It always felt like it was just so childish that I couldn't like, I don't even know. For that reason alone, I've yet to finish the game because I can't bring myself to get involved in the story because of the way that they treat it.
Can we pick that part?
Oh, boy.
They didn't make spousal abuse. They made it. How do you do that? How does spousal abuse become lighthearted? I don't understand that.
Because they touched on it very, like, if you're old enough to understand what was going on, you're like, holy cow, like he was beating her, or at least like just treating her like crap. I can't remember specifically, but I had the conversation with a friend of mine that was playing at the time, and he was the one that kind of enforced the fact in my head that there was like literal abuse going on. But it was just the way that it was like it happened, but they didn't really talk about it. It was just very much like this thing where it's just like the wife was like all on her own in like this dark place, and like she would go to talk, like when you confronted him, you worked your way to this garage and you would like talk to the guy, and he like literally was just like, shut up, woman, and like yelling at her, and you're like, oh my gosh, like you, like, holy cow. And it was dark. But it never left this childish atmosphere of like the way that the characters, like the way that the main character talked. I don't know. I don't want to dwindle on it too long. That's my story of
the biggest video game disappointment to you of all time revolves. I'm just trying to understand this. Revolves around a game that tried to tackle a more mature theme, but did it in a childish way that you weren't expecting. Is that what the deal is?
It was the disappointment was because there was a lot of hype behind it, and I think that the nostalgia of the systems were there. But ultimately, the story is still like I still can look back to the Final Fantasies and the Zeldas and all the games that I played growing up. That it was definitely trying to like play on those feels. And it was just the way that I got treated, the story that they were presenting to me. I didn't know like. I felt like I was 4 years old. I felt like they were telling me a 4-year-old story at the same time. Like it was too much of an identity crisis. Like if you're going to make a very lighthearted, kiddie, childish game, then do it. But if you're going to make like a very serious game, then make it very serious. But it to me, like I said, it was just too much of an identity crisis. What about you, Byrne? What was a big disappointment for you?
I have a two-way tie, and I didn't even have to think about these. As soon as I heard the question, boom. I got this. And chat, no, it's not E.T. I might be old, but I'm not that old to remember when E.T. was released. Yes, I own it, but I don't remember when the damn thing was released. So it's a two-way tie for totally different reasons. Aliens Colonial Marines.
Cricket.
I don't think we need to say anything more on this, do we?
Well, I don't know. Some people bring up Alien vs. Predator because that was a massive disappointment as well.
I would rather play Aliens vs. Predator. And Duke Nukem just went overboard with its old school humor. It wasn't necessarily awful. Aliens Colonial Marines was unplayable for a long time. Unplayable. But I think more near and dear to my heart, and one that hurt me. Final Fantasy XIV version 1.0. That was a crippling blow.
Oh my God.
To Mike Byrne.
No, it wasn't.
I feel like that was a huge. I think that was a huge crippling blow to a lot of
to Square Enix.
No, to a lot of Final Fantasy core fans, because I remember losing people from our World of Warcraft raids. Like, sorry, I'm done. Like, server first raiders, like hardcore about the game. No, I'm done. Like, I'm going to play Final Fantasy. This is it for me. And they left, and then they showed back up 2 months later, and we're like, yeah, the game sucked. So,
and I say that they're two different reasons because Aliens Colonial Marines is a different beast for me. I love the IP. I was super pumped about the game and all the footage we saw at E3 and leading up to the release and everything. I had it pre-ordered, couldn't wait to play it, and then it was an absolute abomination of a game. And so, yeah, I didn't really have a chance to know. It was my fault I pre-ordered. With Final Fantasy XIV version 1, most of us played in either the closed beta or the open beta and provided the feedback that said this is not ready to release, and we are the people that will buy this, right? We are your fan base. This is not ready. It's not playable. And then they went ahead and did it anyway, and when we got our hands on it and found out that it was still the same, it was disappointing on more than just bad game level. It was disappointing on this company let us down, and we told them ahead of time they were going to do it. They did it anyway. Where do we stand as customers on the appreciation meter right now? So it was two different types of disappointment, but both, they hurt the Burn Man very deeply.
Okay, well let's talk about that, because to me, Final Fantasy XIII was infinitely more disappointing than Final Fantasy XIV, just because that game sucked, dude. It was so linear, and we'll get back to the whatever, it's all linear and blah, 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 but that game, I mean, it was, but I can understand Final Fantasy XIV being disappointing, because even though Final Fantasy XIII was uberly disappointing to me, it was still polished.
Yeah.
And it was still, it was still that Square product that comes out and it's ready to go because it looks pretty. but God, Final Fantasy 13 to me was my heart breaks.
I bought a PlayStation
game.
3 for that game, for the record, and I was so upset after I did so.
But it's a disappointing game on a different level, right? It's a disappointing game on the same level of Aliens Colonial Marines. It's you don't like some aspect of the game, its storytelling, its systems. You wouldn't say that the game Final Fantasy 13 doesn't function. Like Kiggles just said, it works. It's polished. It does what it's supposed to do. You just don't like the game for whatever insert reason here. 14 version 1 was so much more than that. It was, not only do we not like this because it's not fun, which it wasn't, but when we can get to the point where we could tell that it's not fun, we've had to fight through 17 broken systems to find that out, that it wasn't fun. And here's the feedback, and you released it anyway. That's where the betrayal and the disappointment come in. So that's it's probably never, I hope it's never replaced. Otherwise, we're in bad shape with whatever product that's going to be.
You guys want to know what I hope isn't a massive disappointment? Ender's Game, because that movie's coming out on November 1st. And if you guys haven't, if you guys don't know, don't get you started on what?
Ender's Game. I have so many mixed feelings about that.
Why is that?
Because he does not. Okay, so the person who wrote the book, I loved the book. I was given the book as a child. Well, not a child, but a preteen, and I read Ender's Game, and then I read all the books after it. They are immensely wonderful books, and they're the books because I like the books. You know, people rag on me for liking Harry Potter, but it's a world, and you go into the world, and that's what books are really good at. Is they engross you, and the things he said about gays just makes me want to. It tarnishes everything about Ender's Game to me.
So with that being said, with your large love of Ender's Game, obviously, I got to bring this up is we have a wonderful service, audible.com, that allows people to listen to Ender's Game. They can get the book experience. And there it's a perfectly viable reason for people to be able to access the books and get the full experience, because a lot of people out there go to the movie theaters and they don't quite understand that sometimes movies come from books. And a lot of people always say, it happened with the Hunger Games. People said, which is also available on audible.com if you guys have not checked out the Hunger Games. Ender's Game, you can catch the whole entire book. And that way you can know going in beforehand and get a little bit more of the story, because this book right now to be read to you is 12 hours long. I promise you're not going to get the full experience in the movie that only lasts 2.5, 3 hours. You won't. There's so much more to this book. There's so much more to the story, and you can get the full experience if you just sit down and listen to the audiobook. And as you can tell by Kiggles loved it. Kiggles loved Ender's Game. So you guys should check it out. Head on over to audible.com. And if you guys head on over to audible.com/Gamebreaker, you can get started with a free 30-day trial, as well as sign up, and you can get a free audiobook. So you can start listening to Ender's Game, Hunger Games, whole bunch of other games. They've got gaming-related topics, World of Warcraft, Diablo. It's great. It's great. So go check it out, audible.com. Let's go ahead and open.
Are you ready, Shaftnet? Are you ready?
Gosh.
We're going to reveal piece 1.
Oh.
Which one would you like, this side or this side?
Let's go. I don't know. The chat room. We'll make this interactive here.
Is this
chat
like a
room.
Rebus puzzle?
This is one.
Left or right?
Or 2?
Left or right, chat room?
1.
I'm seeing 2 lefts. 2 lefts, another left. All right, the chat room's going with left.
Left.
Show me the left door. What's behind door number 1? I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
What is that?
All right, I think I'm safe. That looks like a wall.
Yeah, that's
I'm
definitely
safe.
Not part of your body.
Chat room, thanks for saving my humility for at least another couple minutes. We will we'll have to continue with this.
And that's all for After Dark today. Have a wonderful evening.
Come back next week for piece 2 or 3.
So let's move on. Let's open up the lines and get another caller while we get this going. It might help if I could actually hit the mute button. There we go. Caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from. Tell us your question.
Hey guys, I'm Zista People.
Hey, Zista People. Hey, Zista People. How's it going, man? How's it
Pretty
going?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. How's the Zista People fan club?
The Zista people are good.
Yeah.
They're
Cool.
very,
I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you heard earlier in the show. I was hanging out with them last week right after the show. So.
I heard something about that. I may have even been there. I don't remember.
What's up, Zista?
Not too much. So, have you guys heard about the Gamebreaker Nation?
I have heard about the Gamebreaker Nation. Have you?
Of course I've heard about the Gamebreaker Nation. I've been streaming on it. Have you checked out some of the stream?
Yeah, where people are just basically streaming their awesome adventures and everybody can go in and hang out and mumble and watch the awesome stuff that's happening?
Yeah, where could we find such a stream? Do you may have a Twitch address or something?
I do have a Twitch address. I just don't have it pulled up yet. I wasn't.
Oh my God!
I wasn't 100% prepared. Twitch.tv/Gamebreaker Nation. Right there. I got the feed up. It's up.
It's GB Nation. Twitch.tv/GB Nation. What a failed plug, Shaft. I'm trying to help you out here.
I know. Fail on my part.
Wow, you're all ready for the Audible plug. You're segueing in Ender's Game, but you are not prepared for GB Nation. Wow.
GB Nation. Twitch.tv. Boom.
I don't
there
think,
you
to
go.
be fair, anybody is prepared for GB Nation.
Oh, wait, no, we don't want an Xbox commercial. No Xbox here. This is a PlayStation only show.
I'm streaming right now. It's not up right now, but yeah, I've been streaming. I've been having a lot of fun. We played Left 4 Dead yesterday. There was some XIV event going on earlier today. I believe Mike Burns was in that.
Yes, was it a lot of fun?
What was it? This weekend, this past Friday, I believe. I think Mike Burns said he was calling out sick on this episode. I don't remember why.
Yeah, he really loved that.
Huh. Oh yeah, we played this game Damned, right? And Burn was the first one to die.
Burn, is this true? I remember this. I was in the office when you guys were playing this. I remember this.
Who killed you?
Burn. I think Kiggles was a monster, right? That's not even subtext. That's like serious talk. Kiggles was a monster.
I am a monster, baby.
And then when Mike, it's yeah. Oh, there's more. When Burn got to eventually be the monster, it was the only time that everybody escaped.
Burn, is this true? Are you a bad monster?
I'm sorry. There must be a connection. I can't.
Oh, you can't hear? You can't hear?
Do you have a caller? I didn't know we had somebody on the line yet.
So you can hear me then, right? You can hear.
Yeah,
check,
I can
one,
hear
two.
you just fine, Chef. Check.
Great.
Check.
You suck at video games, right? Right? You're bad at video games.
The funny part was he blamed this on his Naga. He said it's
what?
Like,
You're gonna blame it on the tech? Amateur mistake, Burn.
Spit tag, yeah.
Just blaming it on the Naga.
All right, damn it. All right. So we played this game, Damned. If you don't know about it, it's in alpha right now. It's on Steam. It was like $10 or something. And what they do is they take 5 people and they throw you into a randomly generated environment, a hotel, a restaurant, whatever, deserted. The rooms are always connected in different fashions. One of you is a monster. The other 4 are just players. You're trying to find keys and pieces and crowbars and things like that to eventually unlock the front door and get your ass out. The monster, you have a flashlight, that's it. The monster, on the other hand, can be a ghost and walk through walls and doors and you can't see them, or they can make themselves go into physical form to actually try to kill you, but it has the drawback of now you can see them. So that monster is trying to kill everybody. The 4 are trying to make it out. The first time we played, all right, come on, it was the first time. Kiggles went like, he didn't know what was going on. None of us did. He killed me. All right, I was the first to die.
Whatever.
Okay, no, you're not getting credit for that one. You're not getting credit for that one.
Flat.
3 seconds.
Your body was on the ground.
Okay, I don't care that my body was on the ground in the first room. I don't care. I don't care. I couldn't find the key to the first room. The game was rigged.
Oh,
rigged.
yeah, well.
So then, like 3 or 4 rounds later, I get to be the monster. Nobody's made it out of this place. The monster keeps killing everybody. And so I'm like, okay, well, this will be nice. And I took a little while to get the controls down. My Naga is broken. Okay.
Oh yeah.
No,
my Naga's broken. Oh, dude, my mouse. Oh, see the red button? The battery's dying. I don't know if I can.
No,
it died on me. It died. My mouse isn't working.
It's doing that stupid rapid double click thing. And I had mentioned it.
The cat ate my mouse.
What's funny is I mentioned this damn thing on Twimo, and then it cursed me that night. It started doing it. So I kept bouncing from Ghost to Solid to back to Ghost and then losing the cooldown. I couldn't find anybody. They freaking got out. It's Razor's fault. They should they should pay me back before I pick up an attorney and go after them for this embarrassment that's now live.
You hear that?
I'm scared for the people at XIV. If you play XIV the same way you play Damned, then
you son of a bitch! You did not do it. You did not. I was Zista people, but I am no longer Zista people. No longer.
I'm gonna get you an I am Zista people T-shirt, and I'll hand it to you directly. Are you going to BlizzCon? I'll get it for you for BlizzCon.
I will burn it and put the video on GB Nation.
Well, then that's gonna happen. I'm hand delivering you one at BlizzCon.
Shots fired.
I'm not going to BlizzCon. That's gonna be tough.
Well, I'll hand it off to Gary or Mike, and one of them can get it into your hands.
Thanks for calling. Next caller. Am I allowed to do that? I don't think I can do that from this side.
It's great. Isn't it great when you actually have the mute board? You know, you get a little bit of control. You can mute people. End the shows when people are making fun of you.
Well, the best part about this is I tweeted Mr. Burns here, and I said, hey, look, there's going to be a big update on the game. Let's go play Monday. Guess who didn't show up?
That new monster is a cheaty face. That's a cheaty face monster.
Oh wait, did somebody else lose?
Oh wait, I thought Burn didn't. I thought Burn didn't show up. Was it Kiggles who didn't show up?
No, I didn't show up. I was writing.
I
was writing XIV Reborn Monday night.
Are you kidding me, Shaftnut?
I can't do Monday.
What?
You played League with me to know I could give a shit how bad I am in the game. I will still play that damn game. Okay, thank you.
So maybe this weekend we get a rematch. You could redeem yourself, Mr. Burns.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gaming.
I think gotta be streamed. Gotta be streamed.
If you don't have it, it's definitely one to check out.
It's in alpha then. Where can people pick up this game and start playing if they want to play? Steam?
Yeah.
Free
it's on
or cost?
It was raised. It was raised up to 15 now, or 14 now, I believe, actually.
Oh, nice.
See, I don't know if it's worth $15. That's for alpha. I mean, I guess it's as bad as paying however much you paid for Cube World, but whatever.
I think it's fun, and yeah, I mean, it lacks a lot of polish right now. I mean, it's even just visual polish, let alone performance polish. But it is a blast, and we call it. You know, it was one of the games Zista and I were like, yeah, this is definitely a game that ends friendships. Because you can see
the room.
That was the name of our room, was Ending Friendships, because it definitely is that type of game that causes
those are great.
You to go, Giggles, I'm never talking to you again. Yeah,
we need those games. We need those games.
I didn't do anything. It wasn't my fault.
Yeah, I forgot that I was gonna be sick today, and then I heard it was Host Twerk Tuesday, and then I definitely was supposed to be sick today.
Well, I told you I was gonna be sick.
I'm getting sick. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, I'm looking forward to the final reveal. I actually know what's behind those papers, so I can't wait to see Shaftnut's reaction. God. But I will catch you guys later. Have a good week.
Thanks, Zista. Thanks so much. All right, let's go ahead and get another caller on the line. But while we wait, we'll throw it over to a Twitter question just to keep the show moving. So I got a really philosophical video game related question for you guys. This comes all the way from Matt Perkins. All right, guys, you ready? You ready for this?
Mr. Permastar.
Did we really go to the moon? I mean, come on.
Ooh.
That's gut reaction. No, I'll say it. We didn't go. Studio. Have we been to the moon now? Have we been to the moon? Have we been to the moon now? Absolutely. Absolutely. But we were in a race to prove that we could be the first men in space as America. America! Of course we're gonna cheat. Of course we're gonna cheat. You guys think we actually made it?
Yes.
Mythbusters, here's the thing. I'm playing one side of the fence though. And I'm not saying that Mythbusters couldn't be bought out, but Mythbusters did a really in-depth.
That is not real science.
Not real science. It's not real science. I get that.
Mythbusters.
I'll bring up the fact that
you don't get to say anything.
I'll bring up the fact that I think that they do more science behind it than I do. Reading Wikipedia isn't science.
You brought up Mythbusters, you might as well just use Wikipedia as a reference.
No, even that's more factual because they reference their stuff.
Come on, we were definitely on the moon. Can you think of a time that the government of the United States of America has ever been effective in keeping a secret?
How about effective really at all in actually accomplishing something like getting to the moon?
Right, we were talking in the chat earlier. Somebody said, is the government still closed? And we said, isn't it sad that that's actually a question you had to just ask? It's like you didn't know whether it was closed or not. But come on, they can't keep a secret. We were there.
I think there's a lot of people out there that will argue in the reverse though about aliens. If we had Gary Gannon on this show, he would argue that they've been keeping aliens a secret for years. So,
if I was an alien with technology greater than ours, I wouldn't come to this backwater fucking world. Are you kidding me? Fuck this redneck planet. Let's go to the planet with the 3 titty chicks.
Let's open up the lines and just keep this show moving and leave you guys with that note on that topic. Caller on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from, tell us your question.
Hey, it's Squirrel. How y'all guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I am here to make Kiggles rage again because we knew we loved to see the Kiggles rage. Even with the stream lag, I can see his head shaking.
Kiggles is preparing for it. So what do you got?
All right. As far as being a gamer, I'm Magic first, MMOs second. And this last weekend we had Pro Tour, where they stream it. You get to watch the professionals play. It's a lot like LCS, but with a real game. So
wait. You said Magic? Magic?
Yeah.
Like Magic the Gathering card game. I just want to get this right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it actually got me to thinking because I was sitting here watching it and just really enjoying it and watching the pros play and watching how the community reacted to it. And it came up in Mumble a few days ago. This is not the way other gamers act around the way things work. It's like brought up, hardcore raiding in an MMO. It's like you're just really hateful against each other. Like, hey, you didn't gem. Why is your enchants bad? Why did you do such low DPS? I could do that just face rolling. Whereas, actual Magic, you congratulate other people and you're happy and you're following them, and it don't even matter if you lose because you always feel fun playing. So really the question come about saying, which do you think hates their game more, Magic players or these so-called high-end professional raiders?
Well, I think you answered your question there, but I think that because you compared which one hates them more, the people who are happy when they lose or the people who yell at their friends when they lose. I don't know. I think it's the people who are happy, but I think you bring up a really good point there, and I think that ultimately here's the separation between the two, and this is what I think, because this applies. I've kind of learned this as I've been playing League of Legends a lot more. Magic the Gathering is mostly, correct me if I'm wrong, Burn or Kiggles, Magic the Gathering is still a card game where I'm playing and I have my deck, you have your deck, and we fight each other. No other people are on my team, correct? Nothing's changed in that regard, and that's the problem. Matches, yes. And that's the problem there with
there can be team drafted and there's team sealed, I believe.
That's why
there are
most
team
matches.
Yeah.
It's in most matches, it's still a one-on-one.
So that I think is what is the big concern here, is that ultimately games like WoW and games like League is known for having one of the most toxic communities in the gaming sphere, and that is because it matches you up with people and asks you to climb and play a team-oriented, community-based game with random people who ultimately control how well you do. It doesn't matter how good I play. I could be the best carry. I could have 20, 30 kills, but if my team is feeding the entire game or is making stupid plays, we'll still lose. And the competitive nature in those players and myself and everyone who likes those games gets upset because it's not fair. It's controlled by an outside factor that it isn't involved in me. And the same gets applied into rating. You know, you look at why didn't we get this kill? Well, Bob over there was retarded and didn't stand out of the fire. Well, God damn it, Bob, get out of the fire.
You, Bob.
Like in Magic, and I'll apply this to like Hearthstone. This is one reason why I think a lot of people like Hearthstone and can get behind it. Ultimately, it's up to me. It's my choice, and it's my fault if I lost or not. I didn't draw the right card, or I didn't, or the other guy played better than me. But it was still all on me. I didn't have to rely on anyone else. I built my deck poorly. I didn't play that hand right, and that's why you see the difference. That's why you see at least I think that people can be a little bit better sports about it, because if you lose, you ultimately can't blame anyone but yourself. So you're not going to sit there and yell at yourself. But the second that you have a scapegoat, even if, I mean, we see this all the time. We see this in raids when it really wasn't someone else's fault. You're going to yell at them because you just don't want to admit to the fact that it was your fault. So that, for me, is the difference. Do you guys have anything else to add?
I don't think I really qualify to add anything here when we just talked about me yelling at my mouse for losing a game here. Although, that being said, I have been known to play some Magic the Gathering before, and still do. Actually, my boys just got into it this last week, so it's kind of an ironic timing question. I've thrown a Magic the Gathering table before in real life, so don't put all that. They are at a competition face-to-face on camera. I would be very polite, too. When my 12-year-old son beats me, fuck this game. That stuff's going.
You're grounded. Like you're going to bed without dinner. Exactly. You stupid child. You spoiled. I bought those cards, so I won.
Give me my $60 back.
What do you think, Kiggles?
Well, the question came about because someone said that there are more assholes in high-end rating than there are in Magic, and I said no. There are equal amount of assholes. It's just some people don't like feedback. Now, in a rating atmosphere, you need those people. Now, the assholes need to be kept under check, but if they know something and they're trying to tell you, regardless of who they... Now, if it comes out of the wrong person, they're just going to go, oh, that guy's an asshole, fuck him. But what they might be telling you is actually valid. So listen to that. And it takes that's why you're in a rating atmosphere, is you're working together towards a cause. And this is the bad thing with LFR. You were talking about solo queue in League of Legends, and I would equate that to LFR in WoW. It's just a bunch of assholes that don't give a shit about each other. Okay?
It's true.
But there's a bunch of assholes in Magic, too. I have met some of the biggest assholes in the world on Magic, playing Magic games. They're douchebags because they think they're better than everyone, and when you beat them, they're like, oh, whatever, I just didn't draw the card, what, blah, blah, blah. No, I beat you. Get over it, you fucking bitch.
How did we get to the looking for raid on that one? The caller came in and was like, guys, I have a question about my building my red-black direct damage deck. Can you guys help me out? And Kiggles was like, the looking for raid sucks!
No!
Toxic players, and that's where the line gets drawn, is the toxic players ultimately are most notified in looking for raid, I think is how that got drawn.
That line is getting more bizarre every week that we come back to looking for raid. It's just a very weird line.
Because it is the bane of my existence, and it needs to be scrubbed from the world.
One time I was going grocery
shopping. It needs to be scrubbed from the world of Warcraft.
They were out of grapes. And it's because looking for raid sucks.
All right, let's move on and take some of these last callers. But before we do, I want to tell you guys about another sponsor that we have here, one that we use every day. And if you don't believe me, just go check out our forum post of all of the icons that we're looking. We obviously, Zista brought up the Gamebreaker Nation. It's this new awesome community that we're starting. And if you don't believe that we use it, well, just check out all of the logo designs that we're trying to come up with for Gamebreaker Nation. I believe the dragon has either one or is a head, if I'm not mistaken. But all of these icons can just quickly be found right over on Shutterstock. This dragon one specifically, if you just come over here and type in Dragon Vector, very first search option right there, boom. It was like it was designed to be in the Gamebreaker logo. But they've got a ton of other vectors, a ton of other things that you can search for. Obviously, you know, if this doesn't fit necessarily what you're looking for, but this is great. You're getting 6 for the price of 1. Where all these other ones, you're maybe getting one elaborate dragon. You're getting a bunch of different ones that you can potentially use. So Shutterstock offers many options here where you can get just a bunch of different vectors to use in situations like this where you're looking for the right logo. They've got a ton of different choices to choose from, as well as they got a whole bunch of different tools to make it easier for you to find. They've got a tool called Spectrum, which a lot of you out there, if you guys don't know, a lot of you people maybe have design elements that need to go into a specific logo. Ours, green and white, are kind of the staple for Gamebreaker. And if we needed a specific image to follow the green-white palette, we can actually choose the selection with a slider to narrow down our choices so that we stay within our color palette. It's a great tool called Spectrum. Check it out. And if you guys head on over to Shutterstock.com and you're about to check out and find something to purchase, don't check out before using the offer code Gamebreaker10, because if you use the offer code Gamebreaker10, you receive 25% off your new account. So head on over, check it out, Shutterstock.com, Gamebreaker10. Let's move on, but before we do, I think we have to go over to our very lovely Vanna White, who's ready to reveal to us another letter.
We gotta twerk it first. Twerk it.
Vanna, is there? Oh God, Vanna, is there? I'd like to buy a vowel.
Yes, well, the only vowel you're getting is the other side, because we're going to save it until the end of the show. So you're getting this side.
Oh, I think I'm still safe. All right, that's great. Woo! Safe for another day. I'm starting to think that there is no image down there. It's a like what looks like a wooden or a stone.
Oh my God.
Did Burn just put it together?
Shut up!
A set that I have seen before. That's all I'll say. It's a set that I have seen before, and you've seen it before too, Shap.
Are you sure about this?
Do you want?
Is it the set? Is it the set? Is it
that set?
Is it the set from I Like Chinese Food? The music video that got shot in the restaurant right by my house.
You are the Chinese. You're actually the teddy bear. You are the panda. Like Shafted Panda. Sexual harassment panda.
Please take the middle out of that. Please.
Do we want the middle right now?
No. We're saving it. We're saving it for the end. All right, let's move on. We got a couple callers to get to. Caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from. Tell us your question. Make it fast, because I think all of chat room wants that last thing. Oh, God, no. Caller, welcome to After Dark. What's your question?
Hey, guys. This is Patricles from Denver. And it's kind of funny that the last question ended off on looking for raids, because I called last week about Realm Reborn looking for raid. But this week, I wanted to call about, I was watching Beyond Two Souls, a Let's Play of that game.
Let's watch, I think you mean.
Yeah, pretty much. By like Jesse Cox, and I was thinking while I was watching that, was like, man, I'd much rather just sit here and watch this game than actually play it. Even if I had it for free, like I'd probably just rather, have a hot pocket and watch somebody else play this game than have to like deal with hours of, being lost somewhere, or figure something out, or something like that. Because, those games are pretty much story. That's all you get with those games.
They're movies. They're interactive movies.
Yeah, I mean, Willem Dafoe's in it, so, I mean, geez. But, anyway, so I was thinking, like, if video game companies, and if you guys think that these companies are going to, like, put, like, some kind of NDA or some kind of restriction against YouTubers from, like, releasing maybe the whole story or, like, doing it at all for those certain kinds of games, and then, like, if that's going to vary between indie and, like, big companies. And then if you guys would rather play those story games or just watch an entertainer play one.
What are you guys' thoughts? What are you guys' thoughts on interactive more? I mean, I guess Kiggles, a lot of people compare something like, and I know this doesn't go to the extreme of what like Beyond Two Souls is, but a lot of people would compare, Final Fantasies, especially the late ones that come out, to being so much more of just like interactive stories, because you're just basically walking down a corridor and then walking from cutscene to cutscene. But what do you guys think?
With fighting between them, yes.
So what do you guys think about this, though? I don't want to say we're starting to see it more, but we're starting to see a level of gaming reach this potential where they're rivaling, the storytelling of movies, because we're reaching the point where graphics are good enough that people can believe them. Like I remember playing Uncharted. My ex-girlfriend's mother literally sat there and watched me play Uncharted because she was just like, that's a movie. And that to me was like the realization of like, holy cow, like video games are becoming these cinematic experiences. At what points does that kind of become an actual thing? Of where these God, I think I just answered myself, but it became a thing. Sort of. We had that with Defiance. I don't know if they went about it right, but we kind of saw the first attempt at filmmakers and video game developers kind of trying to work together. That didn't really work out well. What do you guys think?
I didn't really like Beyond Two Souls.
How come?
Didn't seem like a game to me. Just seemed like one cutscene after another. And that's what they have to look out for, is making it too much like a movie to where you don't really feel like you're influencing the outcome. I mean, you were influencing the outcome, but in some of the scenes that I saw, you didn't really influence it, because did you watch the big? I know people are going to get pissed off at me because it's Big Bang Theory, but did you watch Big Bang Theory last week? Do you like Big Bang Theory? Okay, well, the whole crux of the show was Amy Farrah ruined Raiders of the Lost Ark because she said that regardless of indie, the same thing would have happened. Like, the movie would have been exactly the same if indie... That's what they need to figure out what to do. They need to figure out how to do this. What?
No, you were literally no.
That was fortuitous.
Here's what they need to do, guys. I've got all the answers in the world for you. This is what the gaming industry needs to do. And that's what they need to do. And it's perfect. They would just solve everything. What was it? What was it, Kiggles? What was it?
So the thing was, if Indy wasn't in Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Raiders of the Lost Ark would have been the same movie. And that's how I feel games are going. That gamers are indie. They have no influence. Like, some of the scenes that I saw in Dark Souls was, if you didn't get there in time, something else would happen, and it would just get you out of the house that people were shooting at you in. So it's like you had no impact in the game. And while it may look better, it's not better gameplay to me.
I have not played Beyond Two Souls. Did Beyond Two Souls have the same kind of multiple choice endings as Heavy Rain did? Because that ultimately, I think, led up to a lot of the choices that you chose to make in solving the murder and figuring out who the killer was ultimately affected not only who was in the ending of the game, but also affected who the killer actually was. So it can be done effectively, but I don't know if they did that with Beyond Two Souls.
Well, Beyond Two Souls does have multiple endings, but I don't think multiple endings is the payoff. And to Kiggle's point, I kind of agree with him on this one. Like, I go back to games that were more storytelling, like you mentioned Heavy Rain, even before that with something like Indigo Prophecy, where the end being multiple choices wasn't the payoff. I tend to like games that if you're going to tell me a story like this, fine, but make there be consequences throughout the game. Not everything leads down the same path, and then you're going to see one of 5 endings.
Then what do you think?
To me, that doesn't work. To me, that's a movie in video game form.
What do you think then about The Last of Us? Because The Last of Us is, in my opinion, up for Game of the Year. I unfortunately think it'll lose to Grand Theft Auto 5. But I think that Last of Us, for everyone out there who's played it, thinks it's this amazing cinematic game that told a great story. And they designed the game to feel like there were multiple branches, but ultimately it was just the corridor, and you could not affect the story at all. But I still think that's one of the best games I've played in a very long time, and I absolutely loved the story that they told me. And it was still interactive enough that I felt like I was playing a game.
Was that the point of the story, though? Was the point of the story that you are an insignificant person and you really have no...
No, the point of the story was to tell Joel's story of the apocalypse. Ultimately, whatever game you play, you're insignificant. I mean, I get that games are building into this interactive nature, like Mass Effect, where you can thusly influence your choices and ultimately change the course of the game. But look at Zelda. Zelda's going to end the same way every single time. People don't say that's a shit game or
no,
not,
it's not.
like
You're
not a good
die.
story.
You might die. You might die. That ends the game.
You're going to die in it. Could you die? Okay, I see what you're saying. Could you not die in Beyond Two Souls? You could die in Heavy Rain, and if you died in Heavy Rain, that character was excluded from the ending. So I would assume Beyond Two Souls had a similar system in place. But I could be wrong.
I don't look at The Last of Us as the same type of spirit about the game there, because The Last of Us does create some challenging and tense actual gameplay moments where it's all about playing a game, right? You know, you do have that 5 or 10 minutes of narrative where you're maybe just walking through an environment and things like that, but then you do have solid big chunks of sheer gameplay where it doesn't matter, the story's not going anywhere, you have to accomplish something here, and they're pretty intense. Where when I look at games like Indigo Prophecy or Heavy Rain, really, a quick time event to me it's not gameplay, it's adding interactivity to a movie. So I kind of see 2 different categories of entertainment here, where I don't put The Last of Us in the same category as this Beyond discussion with Heavy Rain and all those other types of games.
Makes sense. I think I can agree with that. I think that they are ultimately 2 categories of games, and whether or not I just realized we got so far away from the original root of the question. But that's just the way this show works. We don't answer your question, we make it our own, and then just create a conversation whenever we want.
What was the question?
It was, honestly, I forgot. I'm pretty sure it was something along the lines of seeing developers work with game companies to create better experiences.
Yes, they will start to go more into NDAs and things like that to try and keep stories shut. We already saw it with Square Enix and the launch of Final Fantasy XIV version 2.0, where they kept all video under NDA as long as they possibly could to avoid story spoilers.
All right, we covered our bases.
That. Whatever. Have some personal accountability for yourself. If you don't want it spoiled, don't get it spoiled. Like, I didn't get it spoiled that Aerith died for me and that, Snape killed Dumbledore and that, oh shit, I'm sorry, did I ruin everything for you?
How could you do that?
I'm not going to ruin this. I've been teasing it all day.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the final question so we can get that revealed, I guess, is the right word for that. Caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from, tell us your question.
In more ways than one, if it's what I think it is.
Oh, God.
Woo! Hey, how's it going? Edwin from Florida calling. I just wanted to get back to like the Twitter question over there. I, I was reading somewhere, you know, they have documentaries and stuff like that, but I believe that what they said was when we went to the moon, we discovered a civilization of alien over there, and they were brought back the footage that they were allowed to release and recorded some of the stuff here on Earth that they had to cover up. So that's what I believe. But anyway, my question is getting over to the PlayStation 4.
Is that a conspiracy theory in a conspiracy theory?
I think it is.
No.
That's 2 layers deep.
No, it's not. It's just
that's like conspiracy theoreption.
You know, it's all conspiracies. Gamebreaker's a conspiracy.
So what's your question, man?
About the PlayStation 4. I wonder how you guys end up with it and stuff. And the previous questions was cinematic and becoming movies and stuff like that. People just wanted to watch it. Well, last week it was more about streaming and whatnot. But now evolving into the PlayStation 4, you know, I mean, are you guys looking to that as like a great expansion to Gamebreaker? Like, are you guys like, you know, waiting for like, you know, a big stream Twitch breakthrough, like something like that with the PlayStation 4? I mean, I know
in order to break into covering that territory.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, because I know a lot of things are being integrated into Twitch and stuff like that. I think Xbox but I know PlayStation really wants that to be a part of Twitch. So I mean, are you guys like wanting to kind of mirror over to the PlayStation and try to get going on there too? Just branch out into different markets and just keep growing from there. It's like, is that like kind of your big plan for Gamebreaker? I mean, I know you guys have big plans. I mean, but Gary keeps saying it, but he's not being very, very specific. So
here's the thing. I think I can even try and speak. I'm going to try and speak incredibly carefully here. So I might even tiptoe through the real answer here. I don't know what I can say.
Gary Gannon has the cancel button. Watch out, we all might get killed.
Expansion is obviously the key, and I'm not going to say anything about it because again, I don't know what I have clearance to say or not. There's something in the works that Gary talked about on one of the Gamebreaker Nation podcasts that ultimately we are attempting to do something to bring Gamebreaker to the next level, to expand and have more coverage of more things of what you guys want to see. Ultimately, we would love to cover everything. I talk about PlayStation and all these other games that we don't have other shows for. But I think the biggest thing is we speak to the MMO community. We have a lot of MMO shows. That's what we're known for, and that's who we penetrate. That's who we get to watch our content. I knew as soon as I said that I'd get Kiggles to start laughing. You all right? We would love to break into.
He used the word, but he used the sentence. Those are the people we penetrate.
Oh my god! Are we going? But wait, are we going to penetrate them with a wrecking ball?
Oh god, no! Oh.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yes.
You can't see it. You cut off my head. Now it just looks like Miley Cyrus.
Pan up just a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
So what are we thinking? February, March? What month does this one go into?
I think this one's December. This one's Christmas.
Oh, all right.
Oh my god!
You're gonna penetrate them.
Those are the people we penetrate.
So, getting back to the root of the question.
Don't play MMOs. Gamebreaker will penetrate you.
Gary is streaming into all of your houses and will penetrate all of you.
Yes, we want to grow. We want to reach more people. But we don't want to leave the people that we have behind. And ultimately, World of Warcraft fans want more World of Warcraft content. They don't necessarily want more Star Wars content. You want more World of Warcraft. That's your game. The same can be said about Star Wars people, Guild Wars people, everything. So we want to find a way to make more content for you guys who we already have and try and find ways to access different markets like the PlayStation, because what the PlayStation's doing with Twitch and everything that they're trying to launch that platform is a great opportunity. And it leads exactly into what we're doing here. We just need to find the right way that we can start doing it and start getting people to enjoy the content. So hopefully that politically answers your question. I didn't say anything I wasn't supposed to other than we penetrate the people that we have. Mike Byrne, you can follow him right down there. Yes, Kiggles.
Do it yourself. If Gary likes what you're doing, he'll take note, and you might be asked to do stuff like how fucking... Oh my god, I'm forgetting their names. Oh my god, how Convert to Raid. How I'm actually doing that. I don't even know why I'm on this show. Don't ask me. I'm fucking crazy.
That's a really good point. And we've had a lot of people do that.
Penetrate your stream and ask you to be on Gamebreaker.
A perfect example. We've got Kiggles, Convert to Raid. They're coming into Gamebreaker, and even Squishy. He's someone who stepped up and started assistant producing World of Warcraft Waypoint for me, and we brought him onto Legendary occasionally. It's if you like the content and you want to see it done, start doing it. Show it to us, and hey, I mean we always are looking for new great content to feature here on Gamebreaker. So definitely good advice, Kiggles. Mike Byrne, you can follow him right down there at MagicMan1. Be sure to catch him all over Gamebreaker, freetoplay.tv, xivnation.com, all over the place with them gunners. Get your gunners.
Sexy gunners too, sir.
I think if we get Kiggles some gunners, we need to get a gunners Gamebreaker code. That's all I'm saying. Like 10% off or something.
Shav, I honestly did not know you had that figure, my friend.
I do. Underneath these bulky clothes is that wonderful girlish figure. You guys don't even know. Be sure to follow.
Like a wrecking ball.
But you didn't have to cut me off. Oh wait. Sorry, that's a different song. Be sure to follow Kiggles right down there at the Zach Schultz. You guys can follow me right down here at Mike Schaffnitz. Thank you guys so much for watching After Dark. This is the live show where we take your calls each and every week on Tuesday at 9 o'clock p.m. PST. So if you guys haven't checked the show out live, maybe you got a question of your own that you want to add to the conversation, join us live, call in. We really appreciate it. It's super easy to do. All you guys got to do is download Skype, which is free, if any of you guys don't know, and hit up the username GB After Dark. That will put you in touch with our producer, who will get you in line to be on the show each night. So be sure to check that out. Follow Gamebreaker TV. Check out all the awesome stuff we do. And for those of you guys looking for an awesome community to hang out with within the MMO sphere, check out the Gamebreaker Nation. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next week.
Any more pictures of Shavnit?
Oh, God.